Hold. Hold them up. I would like to present Mark Sheldon. He'll be coming down and singing the national anthem.
Carry colors. Freeze and up.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order. Out. Order. Colors. Center. Peace. Forward. March.
Committee. We would like to congratulate the cadets from going through the 121st Academy. I had the opportunity to go to the Academy 2 weeks ago and watch the cadets at work and the training, and was very impressed with the training and the cadets as they went through their daily activities. Also, I'd like to thank the families that supported the cadets while they were going through their weeks of training, being away from home, taking care of things at home while they were here in Lyndonville, Vermont, doing their classes, and making sure that everything that they did, that they needed, was taken care of. And you know, corrections is a job that unfortunately we're always going to need. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, and the training that the cadets get is always revolving. There's always different tools that they're going to need to learn, because the inmates that are coming in always are going to need different needs, and especially on the mental health side. And so the training they're going to get is very valuable. So again, from the 11 members of the House, Institutions and Corrections, we congratulate you and look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.
All right, we're going to move on to our Academy Awards here. Excellent. I would like to start with Our class valedictorian, this is the person who achieved the highest score during the academy. They took 17 tests, and this person achieved a score of 98.63. There were 2 other people that came within tenths of a point of achieving the score as well. But I would like to call up Desiree Crump. Thank you. Congratulations here. Smile. All right. Keep it. Our second award goes to our class leader, Mr. Watrous. Please step up. Mr. Watrous demonstrated behaviors that were exceptional as far as leadership goes. He was very supportive of his classmates, and he went out of his way to take care of everybody in the class. So, congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
We are now moving on to our class speaker, Mr. Chamberlain. You also get a certificate for this, so congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
And we can turn and smile too for pictures.
Hello, welcome everybody. Thank you for attending our graduation. My name is Zach Chamberlain. I'm going to be going to Northwest State Correction Facility. Just have a few things to say. I'd like to start off by telling you a little bit about what we did. The first week that we were there was kind of just like our overview and orientation and lots of push-ups as we got acclimated to everything that we were doing. By week 2, we were into ACT Week, which stands for Advanced Communications Techniques. This week was all about verbal communication and kind of intervening in negative behaviors on a verbal level. This week for me really reinforced that we're not just guards, that we're actually there to do something and affect change if we can in offenders. By week 3, week 3 was kind of like a mesh of lots of different tools that were just kind of added to us so that we could be successful. Some of those things were, we went through the offender grievance and discipline, PREA, working with female offenders, Americans with Disabilities Act, first aid, and offender classification. Week 4 was use of force week, and that kind of taught us to be able to protect ourselves and others, be able to restrain and control inmates. And there's actually a couple of things that stood out to me during this week. And the first one is, if you have the choice or have the option to, don't ever get sprayed with OC. Do your best to avoid that. And second of all, I'm really thankful that Michaela Hammond is on our side and not an offender. Very difficult doing Excel extractions with her. And this last week, we actually got to start off with a day in the facility. So we were in the St. Johnsbury facility doing strip searches and cell searches and working on handcuffing. That was great to be able to actually get a little bit of time in the facility. And then we just kind of ended with emergency preparedness and fire safety. All of this, I made a lot of friends here, and I think it was really great, and I like all the people that I trained with, and I think that people are probably the most important part about DOC. I think we're all about people, whether our staff or our offenders. And I'll just tell you a little bit about our class. We started off with 17 people. We lost 2 people for personal reasons, and we lost another person to an injury during a wiffle ball game. And we were actually sporadically joined by a CCO, so that kind of, and he's here today with us, and so he joined us throughout our classes and everything. Aside from the losses of people that we had, I just want to touch on a few things that stood out to me, people that were really successful. First of all we had 3 guys from different military backgrounds. They really helped us with drill and ceremony and PT. That was wonderful, so thank you guys. And during Act Week, we had some quiet people that really come out of their shell during Act Week, which was fantastic to see that and see that development. And then there was another person that comes to mind that was quiet kind of through the whole beginning of Academy in the classroom. But then when we got to Use of Force Week, they really, really impressed me personally. They were taking people down, handcuffing, like some of the fastest handcuffing. So that was pretty impressive. You know, if a facility is only as good as the people in it, then I really think that the facilities that are receiving this class are only going to be made more successful. So thank you all for coming. Thanks to friends and family for supporting all of us. And I hope you have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Chamberlain. All right, it is now time for the certificate presentation.
Right, face.
You can turn the mic on now. All right. Dakota Barrett. Alexander Bourgeois. Zach Chamberlain. Bruce Clark. Desiree Crump. Michael Daly. Matthew Hudson. Michael Johnson. Michael Karasevich. Amber Morrow. Jose Roman Suarez. William Savaria. Ariel Sims. Benjamin Stewart. Craig Watrous. It is now time for Dominic D'Amato, the Director of Correctional Facilities, to administer the professional oath.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
The oath I'm about to read is not just a bunch of words on paper. It should mean something to you. As a profession, getting into corrections as a career, you should take the words you're about to say to heart. Your friends and family behind you support you in the future, and to see you succeed. Wear your uniform with pride and your badge with honor. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, state your name.
I, Sergeant George,
Acknowledge this oath and the badge of my profession
acknowledge this oath and badge of my profession
as symbols of public trust in my ability and commitment
as symbols of public trust in my ability and commitment
to provide for the public safety as a professional correctional officer.
to provide for the public safety as a professional correctional officer.
I agree to maintain the highest ethical standards
I agree to maintain the highest ethical standards
and serve the Vermont Department of Corrections to the best of my ability.
and serve the Vermont Department of Corrections to the best of my ability.
I freely accept this responsibility
I freely accept this responsibility
and swear to uphold the humanitarian and legal principles
and swear to uphold the humanitarian and legal principles
of the corrections profession throughout my career.
of the corrections profession throughout my career.
Welcome to the Vermont Department of Corrections.
Class, take seats. I'd like to now introduce our keynote speaker, Dave Bovat.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I'm kind of like the cleanup hitter after the game's been won. You guys have been awarded your certificates, your correctional officers, and now I get a chance to speak to you before you start your careers and move on to your respective facilities. So I'm going to take just a little bit of your time, and I'm going to talk about a couple topics that are dear to me. You've just been through some intensive training, and you've all succeeded. And you're now going to go forth with those skills you've been taught to use them in your respective facilities under the direction of supervisors and a hierarchy. One of the things you're going to find, I believe, when you get there is all of those trainings and all those skills you now have, you've got to put together when you actually walk into a living unit and you're faced with the offenders. They're all very different, but now you're going to be faced with the individuals that you're going to have to interact with, keep safe, hold accountable, make sure they're fed, they get to the medical, and all the services that we provide. And in doing so, you're going to become part of a community inside of our facilities. You live in a community now at home, where you have a mayor, you have your police force, you have your school districts, you have all your things that make up your community. You're going to find when you get into your respective facilities, and this is true for all of our facilities, it's a community inside of a fence. And now you play a role in that community. And if you can keep that in mind as you take your skills that you've just been taught and become a member of that community, I think they will do you good stead. You're going to have to, as you become part of this community, you're going to see people with mental health concerns who need help, who need to be monitored. You're going to find people with medical issues. You're going to find all of the parameters inside that correctional facility that you'll find in your own town. And if you can master the skill of putting that into your mind and not worrying about so much enforcing rules and being driven to make sure these guys get DRs when they're wrong, but put that humanity to it, the piece that says, I'm part of a community, I'm here to help, I have a role to do and a job to do. I have to use these skills, but there's a big picture here that I have to be a part of. So I want to leave you with that as you think about it. You will see that when you get to your facility. After you've done your FTO, you're going to find yourself in a unit. Think of it as a community, what your role is in that community, and you're dealing with a bunch of individuals, whether it be 12, 28, 36, or 60. And you have to find yourself a spot in that makeup. The other thing that comes with your community is your culture of your community. Now, one of the things as a superintendent we always are testing, measuring, and trying to control is the culture. You want a positive culture. You want a culture where the offenders can feel comfortable and safe, they can further their education, we can reduce recidivism, and we can put a better product back out on the street after they're released. So culture is big. We measure culture. You will find in your facilities a prevalent culture. If you can impact that in any way, to the good or the bad, or impact the bad to make it good, that is something that I would task you with striving to do, because culture is key, and you will see that when you get to your facility. Stay focused on the task at hand. In your facilities, there's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of different characters, a lot going on. Don't get caught up in it. Stay focused on your job. And in doing that, if you need help, communicate. Reach out to the officer in the unit next to you. Call your shift supervisor. Ask questions. Communication is a key to success. I, over my career, have been in a leadership role in 5 out of our 7 correctional facilities. I also spent a year in Iraq, in the middle there someplace. And I can tell you, communication is how we succeed. If you don't communicate, you don't ask the questions, you will slip and you will start to slide. You need to ask questions, you need to communicate, you need to tell people things that you're seeing, things that are causing you to question things. Ask questions. Nobody will find fault with you asking questions of the people around you. Ask questions of inmates. Interact. Don't sit back and wait for them to come to you. Part of your role is to interact, ask questions. That's how you're going to succeed at your job. Communication, I cannot stress enough, is the key to what we do inside of correctional facilities. That's what we do in Iraq. That's what we do in the war. You win by communicating and being able to maneuver to succeed. So please, always communicate. Communication affects culture. Communication affects how you do your job. Going forward, I just want to congratulate you on accomplishing the academy. I want to congratulate you on becoming a member of our family in the Department of Corrections, and I wish you good luck. Thank you.
All right, we're getting ready to wrap things up. I just wanted to take one moment to say congratulations to all our new correctional officers and to our new CCO, Ben. I see a lot of talent in the room. Most of the people in leadership roles in this department have come from line staff. They've been COs, they've been CCOs, and I hope that trend continues because we have some good people in the room. And thank you to the family who are going to support them, the corrections family and your biological families as well. So it is now time for the class recessional. Once we step out, I would like to invite our coworkers, friends and family to join us for some refreshments. They're located just outside the door here. Okay. So, if everybody would like to stand.
Ball. Retrieve. Colors. Center. Face. Forward. Arch. Pass. Pace. Forward. Arch.
Thank you all for joining us.
Do a quick last picture here so families can see pictures too.
Let's give them a couple minutes. They know they're supposed to post.
Right.
We'll be meeting back here in a